Got the results in. In 5 days, we are leaving from Portland, Oregon to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I will be starting my aviation career with ATP Flight School. In 3 days, I'm taking the commercial airline pilot written exam. What I'm doing right now is I'll study for about a half hour, take like a 5-minute break, pack for about a half hour, 5-minute break, go back to studying, and repeat the process. And this is what is fueling me for the day. Strabango Ghost Energy. Highly recommend this flavor. 10 out of 10. So good. Here's an example of a question that was stumping me for the longest time, and I'm finally understanding how to do it. An aircraft is loaded with a weight of 4,700 pounds and a CG of 97.0. The CG limit ranges 93 to 96. If 80 pounds is moved from the rear baggage compartment, 142 inches after the datum, to the front compartment, 44 inches after the datum, what is the new CG? Gives you 3 answers. And then this is the equation you got to work out. If you ask me why I have to do this and why it has to be in this order, I don't have the answer for that. All I'm doing is just basically memorizing the sequence that this has to go into to get the correct answer of 95.3. Part of me wants to dig into the information and fully understand why you have to multiply or divide or subtract certain things. I just don't have enough time for that, and I don't think it'll be beneficial at this moment in time right now. All I'm needing to do is just have rote memorization of the answers and part of the equations to pass this test. If you guys are in the market for some good board games, we love Sequence. It's a 2 to 4 player game, and it's a game that you can sit around the table, relax. It doesn't take much concentration to play. And then the other game that I personally love, Catan, I don't know how you say it exactly. 2 to 4 players, it's more of a strategy game where you're trying to conquer the world. And it's like the same time frame as Monopoly, so you definitely gotta, designate a chunk of time at night to play, but super fun. People get really competitive with it. Good morning, good morning. Today's the day, test day. Currently driving to the testing center. It's about a 30-minute drive, and I figured I would kind of go over my routine for preparing the day before and the day of a big test, a big exam. And maybe one of you guys will adapt the same thing, and it'll help you out, because it has helped me out tremendously. I mean, history shows it. I've passed every exam so far, and I feel very prepared for this commercial airplane written test today. Preparation starts the day before. What you want to do is look over all the information that you'll be tested on, but not in a super in-depth, aggressive way. You're more or less just glancing over stuff you already know, looking over questions that are a little fuzzy to you still, or you're not totally guessing on, but still not 100% confident in the answer. Do that for, well, as much time as you can. I believe I spent 5 or 6 hours yesterday doing that. But again, it wasn't like I was trying to cram anything in. It was more or less kind of like how you read a book, more of a leisurely type of study. And then last night, when I was getting ready to go to bed, I usually go to bed around 9 to 10 o'clock. The day before a test, I like to get into bed by 8, so that sets myself up for possibly falling asleep earlier, and then allowing my body to hopefully sleep a little longer than normal. Unfortunately, that was not the case last night because our dog was deciding he needed to jump from the bed to the floor every hour and kept waking us up, but that's life. And then the morning of the test, so this morning, I do this every single time. First thing I do when I wake up is I drink 4 to 5 cups of water. It's very much proven that if you have a dehydrated brain, you're not going to function at 100%. So I try to rehydrate the body as fast as I can right when I wake up. After that, I take a nice, long, warm shower. The goal of the morning of is to just be relaxed, not feeling like you're in a rush. Just trying to stay mellow, but just slowly awaken the body, awaken the mind, so you're ready for the day, you're ready for the test. After the shower, I make a cup of black coffee, sit down and read scripture. I'm a religious man and a follower of Jesus, and that's how I start every morning, is reading the Bible with my coffee. After that, I'll give thanks, say a prayer, praying that I'm grateful for the opportunity that I'm in. I know that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jesus. I wouldn't have my mind. I wouldn't have the knowledge. So I just try to give thanks and be grateful for that. Then I make breakfast. Today it was just some oatmeal with some protein powder in it. Very simple. Will keep me full throughout the test, but also I didn't overeat so I wouldn't feel tired. And then, right now, driving to the testing center. Like I said, it's about a half-hour drive. The test is at 9 o'clock, and I like to get there 15 to 20 minutes before the time, before we start, so that I'll say another prayer, giving thanks, just being grateful again, and just trying to get into the mental space that you need to be in for an exam, and still trying to feel relaxed. I'm not trying to bring up any stress, because there's no reason to have stress about this. If you've put in the work, and I believe I have, I took 8 days to prepare for this test, 6 to 8 hours every day. So I am very confident about going into this, which is why the night before and the morning of, I don't want to look at any information on it. I don't want to study it all, because if you don't know it by now, if you don't know it the morning of or the night before, you're not going to retain any of that information by cramming it in. So that's why I'm very much just trying to be easygoing day of, and just not have any worry about failing or any doubt. I think it was Kobe Bryant that said a quote similar to this. This won't be word for word, but he was doing an interview, and the interviewer asked, how do you deal with doubt? You know, you're at such a high level in your career as a basketball player. How do you manage any doubt that you have? And he's like, I don't have doubt. And then he didn't say anything after that. And the interviewer's like, what do you mean you don't have doubt? And he said, why would I have doubt? I've prepared for this my whole life. I prepare for this every day. I spend hours of my life, doing all the drills, you know, working out, eating right. He said, there's no reason to have doubt because there's two outcomes that are gonna happen. I'm either gonna succeed or I'm gonna fail. If you fail, you learn from your mistake and try again. So there's no reason to doubt yourself, because no matter what, if you keep showing up, you will pass, you will succeed, you will accomplish that goal that you have set out. And I think I heard that quote last year and it really stuck with me, and it's true. I mean, it's easier said than done. Like, we all have doubt. It's human nature to doubt something, especially if you really care about what it is. If you've really put in a lot of time and effort into preparing for it, it's challenging to stay confident in yourself, but it's kind of like fake it till you make it type of mindset. The more that you think you're confident, the more confidence you get. Same with doubt. If you keep doubting yourself, you're just going to dig yourself in a hole. So that's how I prepare for the test. Next clip, we will see how I do. Wish me luck. Got the results in. 91%. Let's go. Oh, that feels so good. 91%. That was surprising, man. 110 questions. Not one question was about weight and balance. Not one. And I spent so much time learning those equations. Not that it was a waste of time, but it's just like, come on, man. Not a single question about weight and balance. That's crazy. But 91%, that's awesome. Super happy with that. Check it out. Got everything packed up. Ton of bags and boxes. Mover should be here in the next hour. And then tomorrow we do a road trip from Portland, Oregon to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I get to start flight school finally. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.